Hey Brainwash Nuts, I'm Joshua, the heretic. I don't know what that was. What we're going to do today is, I just made a video about, just like 3 seconds ago. I'm just going to do them all in a row. I just made a video on the unbelieving wife, or the believing wife and the unbelieving husband, and how a woman should just stay focused on the word and do God's will, and then God will make manifest. Either she will turn the man she's with into a godly man, or set him running for the hills. What I'm going to deal with right now is what happens when a woman is in a situation where she has physical abuse to her and maybe her offspring. Now, there's a common thing I like to bring up, and this is in reference to David. And I did a couple videos on this a while ago, but I'll bring it up again because it's still an important situation. Let's say you're a woman and you're in an ungodly relationship and you're dealing with an ungodly man, and he is treating you in, well, an abusive manner. So what you do is we look at David, and I think David is a prime example of this, because this is a man that was submissive to God in all his heart and was put under the authority of another man that was trying to kill him. Okay, so he's a fantastic example. Now, David always did, there was times where Saul was trying to set him up to fail, and he would send David on fool's errands that were going to kill him. They were supposed to be suicide missions. Okay, and David would go out on those suicide missions, come back and kick butt and take names, and he'd show him, it's like, listen, I'm your servant, I will do whatever you ask. And he was like, what? Will you just go out there and die already? So eventually, you know, he'd go out there and send him on another insane mission, and then David would come back again with all the foreskins of freaking Gentiles and stuff. So, you know, Saul got so frustrated that he said, you know what, forget this, I'm just going to kill you with my bare hands. And then at that point, David ran. He fled. He was like, no, I'm getting out of here because I submit to you, but I will not raise a hand against you. Now, in fleeing, this does not break the bonds of your relationship. Okay, if you're a woman, and well, even if you're a man, if you're a Christian and you run and you split, you're still married. Okay, you're still together. There's still commitment there. If the unbeliever departs, then you are set free from bondage. So if the believer departs, there's still a connection. Even though you're separated, there's still a connection. But I digress. That's kind of important though, because when David left, he still had this connection with Saul, even though Saul was trying to kill him. And ever since, and when Saul would hunt him down and try and kill him, God would deliver Saul into his hands, and he'd be like, well, I'm not going to hurt this guy. So he'd like, to prove that he wasn't trying to hurt him, he'd like cut off a piece of his robe saying, I got this close to you, dude. I could have killed you easy, but you're my Lord. I'm not going to do that to you because I love you, man. Another time, he and all of his freaking people fell asleep in the field, and they snuck in, stuck a spear, ran away, and they're like, hey, look, dude, I have your spear. I could have pinned you to the ground. And, you know, he's like, listen, I'm not here to out you. I'm not here to hurt you. So, going back to women, you're in an abusive relationship. Let's say your husband is trying to hurt you or your children. You leave. You get out of there. When God tells you to go back, and God will tell you to go back. He will tell you to go back. You go back. And when God tells you to leave, you leave. And it'll be up to God to deliver you from that scenario. And as long as you listen to God, God will protect you and your offspring. And it's going to be touch and go, and you won't get, as long as you're listening to God, you won't get hurt, and your children won't get hurt. So you just got to kind of play it by ear. But the thing is never raise your hand against them, never go against his will. Always do his will unless it puts you and your children in risk. And at that point, you're putting God's will above his will. And remember that God's will always comes above your husband's will. That is primarily, and I already did a video on that, so we're not even going to touch that. But that's why I'm kind of doing these in sequence, because they're kind of like interconnected. But anyway, yeah. So I think I'm good. If you have any questions, send them to me. Peace out. Heretic. Okay, bye.
We're left. We go bye-bye. We go bye to the kitty. The kitty's gone.
Yeah.
Because it's right?
Whoa, you right?
Yes.
I guess the light is on. Let's turn the light off. There we go.
Thank you. I can't walk in here. I need to go on my legs. Somebody. Ow. That hurt. That hurt. That hurt.
Well, you didn't wear any shoes.
I can't hear it.
Well, then you got a deal because you didn't want to wear shoes.
It hurts.
So get on. You want to go home and get some shoes?
Yes.
Then go home and get some shoes.